Okay, good morning, everybody. I finally was able to get my hand on some Riveteers Charm. I had to make 4 new Magic Online accounts, but it turns out I only had to make 2, so I made 2 extras on accident. I won't go into all the details, but I got my hands on the charms. This card is my #1 pick to impact Modern from the new set. I think this card is incredibly strong. It is a very versatile and powerful card where all 3 modes are really strong, and specifically the mode of getting to exile the top 3 cards of your library and play the cards until next turn. A 3-card light up the stage is a really powerful source of card advantage in this deck. Sparrow, thank you for the 8 months, appreciate you. It also is basically a Crackling Doom, making your opponent sacrifice a creature or planeswalker with highest mana value. Very good against Murktide region, obviously. And it's also Graveyard Hate, which is super relevant to have like incidental Graveyard Hate in Modern. I wasn't able to get my hands on the Jund Triome. I did go ahead and just put it in the deck list to show you where I would put it. I'm going to be cutting the second swamp for the Jund Triome, I think, once we get our hands on it. Don't have it yet. But I'm really excited to cast this card. This card is my #1 pick to impact Modern from the new set. I think this card is phenomenal. We'll see if it's as good as I think it is, but I'm stoked. I have not cast it yet. Only 2 Lily. Yeah, I mean, I just don't. This isn't an Esper deck. This isn't an Esper deck, so we can't play only 3-drops, unfortunately. You could maybe play an 11 3-drop, but I think the curve is a bit better like this. Am I trying Esper Mentor again with new cap goodies? Yes. Yes. No, I had a chatter donated their Jund Triumph to the stream. Isn't odd with Tarmogoyf. Okay, this has to stop, chat. This has to stop. This is not what makes you guys are lost in the sauce. Obnixilis is not good just with random giant creatures. Random giant creatures that don't get disrupted in Modern are really rare. It just does not happen very often. We need to Thoughtseize here because Tarmogoyf dies to Bolt. It is not very often that you just have a random giant creature and your opponent either doesn't kill you or interact with the creature or interact with your 3-mana Planeswalker. We have to stop. This is not a plan. This is not a good cohesive game plan. Postboard with the 18 gifted subs, which is I think just in support of my continued rambles. This is one of the worst matchups you can play, although Riveteers Charm being Graveyard Hate does help, I think. They exile another Demi-Lich. They've cast 1 spell so far. And they drew Manamorphose, so we're boned. Postboard, the 18 subs, thank you so much, that's crazy. If you've got a gifted sub for Postboard, make sure to thank them. Have I tried the Murktide region Obelisk? I haven't. Nobody has casted Obnixilis yet in Modern. At least I haven't. Maybe Gab has. Listen, I think it's really unlikely you ever see me register a deck with Murktide and Obnixilis. It's maybe possible, but you guys like really think that like you need anything to like be good after you have an 8/8 Murktide in play. Like an 8/8 Murktide should be the top of your curve most of the time. And if you want to cast something else after you've got your 8/8 Murktide, why don't you consider a card like Temur Battle Rage that actually, ends the game on the spot at least, I'm just so over it. I'm over the same suggestion over and over again. Okay, so we're gonna try to kill both these Demi-Liches, untap, and Riveteers Charm. The Triumph. At the very least, just you have to understand that when you're ahead because you have a giant creature, and then you cast a 3-mana Planeswalker, these should be games you're winning most of the time anyways, right? You will probably win all of these games you're describing. I guess I should have waited, actually. You'll probably win all these games you're describing. But like your 3-mana Planeswalker also needs to be like somewhat better on like in more defensive situations. Yeah, I definitely should have waited. Too busy rambling. Another Demi-Lich. So they have 3 spells in the yard. They need 1 more to cast, get the Lich back. I guess I get to bolt it. They do get the Lich back for 0 mana. I think I want to bolt now for mana efficiency, so if I draw a 3-drop, I can cast it next turn. Goyf is not too bad either. I see it being good with unearthed cards like Hellspark Elemental. People keep saying that. That also, I'm sorry for just, I feel like I'm being maybe too aggressive, but that also I really disagree with. In order for Ob to be good with cards like Skelemental or Hellspark, you have to have like 5 or 6 mana, because you have to cast both cards on the same turn. People, you're not the first person to say that. I strongly disagree. It makes no sense. You have to have like 5 or 6 mana. It just doesn't make any sense. It will never happen. Or like, it's just not a good game plan. Mill over another Phoenix. Phoenix coming back. Demon Lich coming back too. 4 with an Unearth. Come on, let's not do this. Let's not do this. It's just 4 with an Unearth. Let's not do this, chat. I think what we will do is go to game 2. Yeah, Phoenix is always like so good against the red black X decks. Yeah, Ob is a fine card, but like this all these suggestions just ain't it, you know. It's okay. It's fine. Magus is good against them? It is not good against them, no. They're a Lightning Bolt deck. They have Manamorphose as well. You shouldn't play it. Oh yeah, the other deck is really vulnerable to Chalice. I'm also playing a lot of 1-drops, but yeah, I probably should have brought it in. Ob seems better my Jund stack deck with Bloodcast. Yeah, I have a couple Ob drafts. I have a couple Ob drafts. I have a couple Ob drafts. We will be playing it. So I will be playing some of it. I guess I'm taking Serum Visions. It's kind of close. Yeah, I think Ob is better with cheap creatures that like to be sacrificed. You have more synergy in the deck. It's just a generally better game plan. You don't need your Ob copy to have tons of loyalty. It gets to plus and have lots of loyalty. You have 2 Planeswalkers. What's to record this matchup value? My opponent has a lot of like Faithful Mending and Faithful Salvaging. This triggers the Turok. It also is protection from Prismatic Ending. They can still bolt it. Yeah, just like that, obviously. Oh, I don't have a fetch land. It's kind of fine. Ob and Creativity, you can select the 1/1 Dwarf tokens. It's kind of interesting. I like the idea. Yeah, this matchup is so bad, and it's just also extra worse that we're stumbling. Brady with the 20 months, appreciate you. As Phoenix, I don't usually like to bring in Blossoming Calm on this side of the table. No. Oh no, sorry. Yes, do bring in Blossoming Calm. I have Endurance in my deck. Sorry. Yes, bring in Blossoming Calm. They have a Demi Lich and the Phoenix in the yard. I think I can wait still. If they just like spend 4 mana cast, this is fine. I'll just, you know, bolt and then Endurance. Yeah, I agree. I think Ob is gonna be best in like creativity style decks, or like sacrifice style decks. I also have like a red black mid range deck that is, I think, somewhat equipped to be just like a more like a mid rangey list. But these are just drafts. We'll be playing them tomorrow. I will not be taking any more Ob questions for a few minutes. Got him? Oh, I missed that. They also cast the salvaging. Had a bit of lag there. This card's Demi Lich, 2 cards in hand, 2 instants and sorceries in the yard. Bolt, cast Demi Lich. No cards in their hand though. We have a Lightning Bolt for the Lich, or Terminate for the Lich. We'll use that for mana efficiency. Can we please ever draw a 3rd land this game? It's been so long. Thought Scour is incredible top deck for my opponent, but that is the good thing with the Demi Lich deck, is it draws really well. Yeah, the counting commands are really good. I've been a big fan of these. Okay, get the last card out with Kroxa. Still obviously no 3rd land. I bet we draw the Triumph. I bet we draw our Triumph. Okay, discards lands. So can't flashback Mending effectively. Flashback Mending main phase. Discards Serum Visions, Flooded Strand, cast Serum Visions. 1 instant or sorcery away from getting back Lich. How have the Charms been doing? Yeah, we're just all learning together. I think the Charms are good. Our record hasn't been that good today, though. But we've also played like a lot of linear decks that have drawn really well, which typically is like our games you lose with John, you know. All right, that's one way to get the 3rd mana. I think I'm dashing. If I hit a cantrip, I'm not sure if I'm casting it or not. Okay, can't cast that one. Upkeep, consider. I don't feel like I usually recommend casting that in upkeep. They also didn't need to Blossoming Calm. I guess they want to set up for next turn. I kind of want to cast the Seasoned Pyromancer, discard Fatal Push Ragavan, and hope to find my 3rd land. I've actually gone 9 draw steps without finding a land. I don't know. This is maybe like a bit of a tilt play, but I felt like surely we'd find one. We did find one. Any ideas for Tainted Indulgence? Yeah, I've got I have 1 draft with that card in it ready to go, and I've got another build I'm working on. Some other ideas too. This card's a Phoenix. So they should be bolting the Phoenix, double blocking the Lich, then Riveteers Charming them. Mills over another Lich, but they can't play their other Liches from the yard unless their hand is like exactly Thought Scour or Consider, and they hit a spell. Which I'm just not going to play around. Very grindy game. Does my opponent have an active Blossoming Calm? Yeah, they do have an active Blossoming Calm, but I could just do this on their turn. Alright, so they have only 2 instants or sorceries, so I should be pretty safe to wait on the charm here still. They discard another Phoenix, so I'm really happy I did. And then I think I need to cast this now because they can just immediately Demi Lich if I wait. Obviously they could hit some good stuff here, but we get 2 Phoenixes, 2 Demi Liches with this charm. That's half of the threats in their deck. Tej with a tin back, Pioneer deck tech. Don't crush my dreams too hard. I will hope your dreams are good. You can post in the chat, I'll take a look. Okay, they discarded Demi Lich. They've cast 2 spells. Ugh. Is there enough treasure support to make a deck around it? I don't think so. There's, you know, not yet. But Magda is a really powerful card, maybe one day. Like, a lot of the cards do say make a treasure on them in Modern. Most of them are not playable, though. Okay, Leah, let's just go Tarmogoyf and then Cling to Dust, whatever they target with the Lich, if they do target anything with the Lich. What a long game, huh? Start off with a Manamorphose. Esper Lich combo. So it's a Pioneer trying to play Lich's Mastery and then Quasar Augur of Agonies. It is like a real, I think a big ask to try to resolve 6-mana enchantment and then combo off with Quasar. I think it's asking a lot. That being said, like Lich's Mastery having hexproof, I think does make this like somewhat interesting. Also, that being said, you know, you gotta understand what kind of format Pioneer is. Pioneer is a format that is already full of super powerful, super efficient combo decks, and I don't know that this is gonna be the kind of deck that can really ever make the cut in that kind of environment. I'll also say that getting triple black for your Lich's Mastery in a deck that is mostly just blue-white control is going to be a challenge. It is going to be a challenge. Okay, so my opponent has 2 salvagings coming off rebound, so if I play Turok, it's going to get pretty big. Oh, they got to replay their Lich. Jeez. Lich is so good. Okay, so I can play Turok, it's going to get really big, but I can also just cast a Kroxa and pretty big too. So let me attack with my Tarmogoyf first, escape Kroxa. Red, black, black, red. Sorcery, instant, instant, instant. Creature, doesn't matter too much. So, like, I will say, like, if this is your deck's idea, I think you've done, like, a good enough job. Like, I don't really see any super obvious ways to, like, make this better. Like, I would probably want to see, like, at least the 3rd Triome over probably, like, the 4th Fortress or the 1st Deserted Beach, just to, like, really help with these triple black. Maybe you play 4 towers after some playtesting, but... Oh, they have Prismatic Ending for my Kroxa. Rough. But I actually feel like for like what this deck's idea is, I don't think I would really make too many changes besides those to the mana. I think I would keep most of these numbers the same. Sideboard looks pretty good. I would probably, I mean, you have a lot of counters. I would probably try to hedge a little bit more towards Lotus Field, but I just kind of tell that to everybody, I guess, at this point, huh? Okay, so I think I'm going to Inquisition my opponent and try to Cling to Dust their Prismatic Ending. Ooh, rough. Last card. Yeah, they do only have 10 cards left in their library. Bolts me. So now I am just dead. Okay. Well. Yeah, I mean, Demi Lich is, like, always, like, you know, as someone who built the Demi Lich deck. At least my opponent's Demi Lich deck. Gotta try him. Hopefully this is a hand where we want to Boseiju our opponent. I'm gonna keep. See any innovation on Through the Breach? I mean, Through the Breach is like a really tough deck to play in a format with Solitude, but it's maybe better than the amount of play it's seeing, which is currently 0 play. What are my changes for the land? I wanted to cut the blue-white slow land for the 3rd Triome, and then I wanted to potentially... Interesting, just playing a Shadow variant. I wanted to potentially play one more Triome over like a Fountain, just like if you feel like getting triple black is tough after that. Okay, it takes the Wrenn and Six. That's fine, I guess. Is that the basic left of the new set? Yeah, they are. Actually, I would one of these in paper. It's becoming quickly one of my favorite mountains. Oh, whoops. Mountains? You're saying, are you gatekeeping what is a mountain? Is that what's happening? That's not a real mountain. It's just a, you know, a skyscraper. Skyscrapers are just man-made mountains, you know? John the Shadow. Interesting. I do think Riveteers Charm is interesting in Jund Shadow. Like, this card is really powerful in a deck like this with a really low mana curve. I will say that I don't love to play a ton of 3-drops in Shadow. But it may be fine. You get to get Gigantus Companion. This may be fine. If it's your only 3-drop, I think it works. This actually looks really good. I feel like I would maybe like recommend like going down to just 2 Wrenn and Six. I'm not like a huge fan of this card in Shadow specifically. It's okay, like, but you really don't want to draw 2 very early. Like, I would probably play 3 Inquisition, 2 Wrenn. I usually like 7 discard spells in Jund Shadow since you don't have like any other like hand interaction. Just like very small note. Bob with the 10-pack, thank you so much. We're getting billions of gifted subs lately. It's been out of control. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys have been very supportive in what has been a stressful time. So thank you so much. I kept a 1-lander. And we Thoughtseize bug pinged the Shadow. I don't feel like Burn is represented enough to really want to play a Collective Brutality in my sideboard. I would be really interested in the 3rd copy of Ancient Grudge. Okay, also one thing, you don't really need this many Terminates if you have Riveteers Charm. Riveteers Charm, in theory, is going to help you. My opponent's just so likely to have Stubborn Denial here. Charm, in theory, is going to be so likely to help you deal with Murktide that you can maybe play one copy, but I think it's probably just going to not be that necessary to have these sideboard Terminates anymore. Which, you know, does bring some pressure off the sideboard. You can afford to do something like play Magus of the Moon for the Titan matchup, which may be important. Obviously, you know, sideboard card opens up, you have a lot of choices. Maybe, like, play some more answers to Sanctifier Invec, you don't have any at the moment. Maybe Pirate Spellbomb in this list. KFM with the Twitch Prime, and then J-Man with the 7 months, appreciate you, and Exodus the 8. I like that Jund list a lot. I may end up playing something pretty close to it. Thoughts of Boseiju, the Grave to shut off blue. They just get another blue source. Yeah, they just get another blue source. They get a Steve Vince Water Grave. Is strip mining them not a plan? Not a good plan. It's going to be very slow. I mean, I can get the Boseiju back next turn. Notifications. So they're a shadow deck. I think I'm still attacking. Did you ever visit Flame Pillar Scourge Skyclave deck? Yeah, I did. Not sure of how I feel about it necessarily. I did revisit it. Could probably cut them off red here, right? They don't have double basic mountain. Again, Boseiju, they can get shock lands. They can get. I don't know if Chad's just trolling me. You can get shock lands off Boseiju. I think I will Boseiju the Watery Grave here. So if they have Stubborn Denial up and I draw a green source, they'll probably just get a tap land here. But you can get shock lands off Boseiju. But yeah, this is very likely to just be able to like have them, you know, tap the land here, right? Don't they only have like 6 fetchables? Yeah, I don't have 6 Boseijus. And they should have like 8 or 9 fetchables. Like 2 of each shocklands, 1 of each, 1 basic each. Of mountains, swamp. Maybe more. Maybe they have an island too. But yeah, they should have plenty of fetchables. I don't have, you know, 6 Boseijus to throw at them immediately. At the very least, I don't need to do it super aggressively. They do have an island. I've got a Fatal Push. Which means that they're representing Stubborn Denial, obviously. I think I'll exile the Boseiju. I know the humanity, right? Like, if they have Stubborn Denial in their deck, I think I'm probably not just supposed to just walk face into it here. Like, if they didn't have Stub, they probably should just get a Shockland. They still play Stubborn Denial? Yep. My opponent... Not every list does. My opponent has shown us that they're playing it, though. Yeah, we got the Triumph donated by Monkey. It's very nice of them. Should be GG. I guess they could have another one if that's shock. They also have a push. Okay, so we're gonna bring in the Veil of Summers. Get a little lag here. Veil of Summers, Endurance. Cutting probably all the Thoughtseizes. They are playing Delve spells, so maybe Thoughtseize is better than Inquisition. Could do something like 3 Thoughtseize, no Inquisition. 2 Thoughtseize, no Inquisition. Deck tech for Frost. If you put the link, post the link in chat, I'll take a look. Don't love how high the curve gets like this either, but I do feel like the discard spells are the weakest cards in the matchup, and like with Luris being gone, you need them less. So I'll just play 1 Thoughtseize. Blue-black control, an archetype that I think is pretty underplayed in Pioneer. So I like taking a look at this. I actually really like Tainted Indulgence alongside Dig Through Time. So I'm kind of surprised to see you only playing 3 Dig Through Time. I think that, like, 4 Consider, Tainted Indulgence makes you want to play like maybe 4 Dig Through Times, maybe at least 3, but maybe 4. Aven Heartsaber seems fine. I do also like this card with Dig Through Time. I think I would cut the Cling to Dust and oh, you are also I think a little light on win conditions. Like, it's just you just have 2 Typhoons and 3 Stabbers. I think you probably need to be playing 4 Typhoon. Typhoon is definitely a much more you know, resilient win condition than oh, wrong red card. Than Aven Heartstabber. Stabber may be interesting to test. May end up not being that good overall. I think I might like to do, I think I might like to cut like the second Days Undoing though. Like, Narset's just good by itself. You can find the one Days Undoing pretty easily with your Dig Through Times and stuff. I don't think you need to play 2. But do something like, okay, so we want to go -1 Days Undoing, +1 Dig Through Time, -1 Cling to Dust, +1 Dig Through Time. I think I would probably just want to main deck 4 Sinister Sabotage 0 negate, or maybe 3 Sabotage 1 negate, and go like way up on counterspells post board. I don't like how few counterspells you have sideboard. -2 Stabber, +1 Typhoon. Maybe just not play the Stabbers. I do like this card, but this is maybe just where you need to make cuts and play like 1 more counterspell main deck. Like, do like 3 Sabotage, 2 negate, 4 Sabotage, 1 negate, and then maybe 4 Sabotage, 1 negate main, more negate side. So I just feel like you want to be pretty counterspell heavy against the other control decks, and Lotus Field. Like, the disputes are fine. And these control decks specifically, I'm really high on negate. Like, I think I like it more than I like dispute just because of how late the games tend to go. You know what I mean? Wait, what? We're just hitting them with Ragavan and hitting a Thoughtseize. It's pretty lucky. Iteration, Gurmag Angler, Death Shadow. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna take the iteration. Gurmag Angler is definitely not scary, but yeah, 2 threats in their hand. Iteration is a powerful card. I think these are my thoughts. The sideboard is kind of hard to like speak too much exactly what you should do. I think you have, in general, I think you have too much creature hate in the sideboard and not enough counter spells. Like, I don't think you need these Languishes necessarily, or the Cletuses. I would just play one or the other, whichever one you think is stronger. Probably Languish because of the Winota matchup. And I would just be into like more negates over Ashiok's. Like, Ashiok's good against Lotus Field. It's like not necessary though. Gurmag will make the Goyf look dumb. I know. But the Seasoned Pyromancer will make the Goyf big again. Why play Ratchet Bomb over Explosives and Mono Black Coffer? It doesn't matter that much. We've had this conversation a bunch. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what my reasoning was. We've been down this rabbit hole several times, of course. So, like, Explosives lets you pop it immediately, which is more relevant against Hammer Time. Then Ratchet Bomb, in theory, can tick up over time and deal with, like, a Blood Moon. And, like, Explosives never deals with Blood Moon. So, I guess, like, that's probably, like, the main 2 points. Like, do you think that you ever realistically tick up Ratchet Bomb to, like, deal with a Blood Moon? If yes, play Bomb. If no, play Explosives. You can do it on 1 against Hammer Time. If I have 2 versions, one with a splash, one without, would I mind share both versions for deck tech? You can do that, but like I might just not have the time to go like super in depth onto both. You know what I mean? But you can do that. Try to make it work. I'm gonna see if they have. Well, I could block like this. No, it's just too bad against the removal spell. Everything for your Marty's Shed and Esper Gorias, which has most potential. I mean, I like both of those decks. Alright, this line was definitely worse against Unholy Heap. I'd say they're pretty close in potential. Hoping they didn't also draw a counter spell. It's like 2 of their 3 unknowns. Reading the card here, maybe. How many 5-drops should you play at the non-Remater Coffers deck? I'm playing 4, right? At least that's how many I've been playing. Alright, Gold Guns Command's very, very good there. Angler leaving up a potential Stubborn Denial. I think I'm going to leave the Triumph in the deck here. Our mana's pretty good. I may theoretically like want to cycle the Triumph this game. They definitely have Stub. I'm totally happy to trade Wrenn and Six for Stub because it just doesn't do that much here. And I think that they're identifying that Wrenn and Six doesn't do that much either. You just let it go. Post-top decks are definitely pretty good. We may be able to wiggle our way out of this, though. We're not playing 4 Golos, 2 Invoke the last version. No, I had 3 Golos main, 1 side as a Karn target in the last version. I think even Heart Cyber Seed play on Pioneer, maybe Modern. Yeah, it's on my list of cards I kind of like. I don't know exactly where it fits, and like getting 5 cards with different mana values into your yard is not an easy task at all. But maybe, you never know. Okay, we still have our Seasoned Pyromancer in the graveyard. I'm gonna ping him. So my Tarmogoyf is gonna be potentially lethal next turn. Or I could just draw Lightning Bolt. Rough. There's no forest on that forest. I mean, there's plants. It's good enough for me. Put exile Shadow to Iteration. They must definitely have stub. I think so, yeah. I think so. So yeah, that's true. Maybe Lightning Bolt not as much of an out, huh? Oh, maybe I'm supposed to Boseiju the Steam Vents first. But it's like, do they ever act like actually counter the Wrenn and Six here? Is there a guide for Mono Black for Despair version or Golos version? Yeah, there's one on Channel Fireball. Not what it's Despair, not Golos. I got the Golos tech like 2 days after writing that one. Need your opponent to have no removal spells. And if they have no removal spells, we're winning, I think. That's a removal spell, and we go to game 3. A lot of lands off the top, huh? I think our sideboard plan's still pretty good. You got a lot of just bangers in this matchup. I wonder if you had kept bolts. If I had a chance there. What did I do? Oh, I discarded the bolt to Seasoned Pyromancer. I mean, I thought it was pretty important to grow the Goyf, get the extra token. We'll never know, huh? Interested in standard deck techs or modern pioneer? You would be wasting your points or money on standard deck techs. I just am not invested in the format. I haven't put any thought into it. You know, I'm not just someone that just like naturally has like this encyclopedic knowledge of Magic or naturally has all these insights on deck building for any format. Like, I have these insights because like all I do is spend my time working on modern and now pioneer decks. I've spent a lot of time and energy brewing and building decks in these formats, so I'm not like a whiz kid. I just spend a lot of time. Doom, thank you for the 22 months. Appreciate you. And I haven't spent time on standard in a long time. Love you, buddy. Jun Charm Copium. Okay, I take back the I love you now. Do make aspiring spike beef. Do you have a new Coffers list without Golos? I think basically never played mono black Coffers without Golos. Golos is like just the truth. Okay, so I probably don't want to just jam Liliana into Stubborn Denial. Or Wrenn and Six into Stubborn Denial. Yeah, sure thing. I like the Dragon deck a lot. It feels boosted. I've only played like 3 or 4 leagues with like that version, but I think I 4-1'd all of them. Yeah, maybe I misspoke, Daisy. It would be the first time, I think, on this channel I've ever misspoken, though. First time for everything. This feels good. This feels good. It's really not that big a deal, but it does feel good. So my opponent has creature, instant, land in the graveyard. I'm a bit worried about my Liliana getting Unholy Heated. I'm just gonna get my oh, and I guess now that I have Veil of Summer, I don't need to worry about them going at Gurmak, Stubborn Denial, my Liliana, because I have the Veil. How has Jun Triumph been? I mean, it's just the same as any other Triumph, you know? It's like, it's not that different from any other Triumph you've ever played with. It's just the same thing, but now it's for Jun instead. Jacob, thank you for the tier 1, appreciate you. And you want the Triumphs usually in your mid-range and control decks, and not in your aggro decks or combo decks. Jacob, again, thank you for the tier 1. Does Ob have a place in this deck? I don't think it's good in this deck, but I think it has a place in decks a bit more focused around it. I've got some drafts. We're going to try to play some Ob tomorrow and finally put all these Ob questions to rest. Is that a Jund Triland? Yes, these are brand new from the new Streets of New Capakinica. And they are not only Jund Trilands, but you can fetch for them too. Sorry, this matchup, I cut up my discard spells for the Veil of Summers and Endurances, left in one Thoughtseize. Yeah, I love the YouTube people coming to get the sub. I really appreciate the YouTube people. Which Trimark do I prefer? I really like the extended borders. I haven't like really looked too closely at the art itself, to be honest, for these, but I really like the extended borders on the triomes. Typically. I guess I'll leave the Triumph up this turn. Liliana the Veil? Make my opponent sack a Gurmag Angler. What year is it? I'm young again. I'm young and full of energy again. What do you think is keeping Dimlich from being played in Pioneer? The lack of 0 mana spells. Dimlich is good with Manamorphose, it's good with Faithful Salvaging, it's good with Gutshot. The lack of 0 mana spells make it really tough for that card to thrive. Two Death Shadows? Ooh, but I got a Riveteers Charm. So I guess we're gonna go plus Liliana. I think discard Wrenn and Six. Could discard Cling. Discard Cling. They discard a Stubborn Denial. Will Fatal Push. They'll Stubborn Denial. Will Veil of Summer. Oh. They discarded Stubborn Denial, so I just assumed that their last card was a second copy. Is Dimlich good in any format? Let's not. Round 1 loss was to Dimlich. I really do think the Dimlich Phoenix deck in Modern is very good against Hammer Time, Black Red X decks, Murktide, and Control, and very bad against big mana combo decks. When I couldn't resist the Kolagon's command. Veil to keep Liliana around. Brute with the 2-pack for a deck tech. This is our second Soul Flare deck tech for today, and I gotta say I feel like I liked the first one more. I don't like the blue splash very much here. Hold on, let me pull this. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can't remember who it was that submitted the deck tech for the earlier Soul Flare list, but if they wouldn't link their list, that would maybe be helpful. I wouldn't play Adult Gold Dragon either. 4 Savage Summoning a sideboard's probably too much. I think you could play like 2 or 3 of that card, unless I'm just like totally wrong and you need that many. But I also feel like there's just not that many counter spells in Pioneer. I wouldn't sideboard the Cling to Dust. I would play Damping Sphere over Necromantia for Lotus Field. Not sure what those decays are for either. Oh yeah, record is 1-1. Let me right? Yeah, 1-1. My opponent took a Mull to 4, and then they played a Flooded Strands. And then they conceded. Fallen Simple Mantic with the 4 months. Appreciate you. The case for Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace is really uncommon. I have yet to like see many Rest in Pieces in Pioneer, but if that's what it's for, then that's probably fine. Sideboards in Pioneer are really hard to speak to. I want to play Damping Sphere over Necromantia there. I might want to see like some Duress over like some of the Savage Summonings and Decays. So like those are good against Lotus Field, and then they also help you fight through counter spells. Yeah, I mean, I agree that I think my opponent should have conceded before playing the Flooded Strand, but I'm trying to think, like, is there a deck that plays Flooded Strand that they would make me sideboard as if they're, like, Murktide or Blue-White Control, but then they're, like, really a combo deck. So they could be Reanimator, they could be a Cascade variant, they could be, like, Glimpse combo. Glimm's combo probably wouldn't play Flooded Strand. Rhinos probably wouldn't play Flooded Strand ever. Living In doesn't play it. Ad Naz. Yeah, I don't think that they ever play Flooded Strands, really. I think I'm just gonna bring in these Veil of Summers, where Bloodbraid Elves ripped apart and thrown into the trash can. I want the Veils. Oh, Hammer. Yeah, they could be Hammer. Hammer's like the most likely Flooded Strand deck to build a 4. And they're the most likely to get me. I think I'm just gonna resubmit. Let's just resubmit. Could be Tamashi too, yeah. I love the new charm, but I've been liking the new charm. I've been liking it a lot. Small sample size, though. Oh, boy. All that thinking we did. Wasted. Useless. Duck Tech for Norjack. Been eating alive, interesting cyber card and anvil. Shambling Gas might have potential. I agree Shambling Gas might have some potential. Can you post the link in the chat? I can't copy paste from the notification. Okay. Let's get a Wrenn and Six going. Aether Vial, Lightning Bolt. So it's Crack the Earth? Maybe. I think it's a good guess. I think I'm just going to go Mountain, Ragavan, Hold Up Removal. So Red, Black, Sack, and Pioneer with Ob. And Shambling Gas. I do like, actually really like Shambling Gas with Ob, where a 1 gives you a higher density of cheap creatures to sacrifice, and if you like trade this card on turn 1, you can Ob on turn 2, so... Spike, come on. It was Spirits the whole time. It was obviously Spirits the whole time, and I think I'm gonna Terminate here. Mana efficiency is important, and then this I'm doing this before they have another Rattle Chains. It was obviously Jeskai Spirits. Are you, like, new to Modern? How many Raging Ravines? 0. You cannot play less than 4 Mayhem Devil. Like, if you think you only want 6 3-drops, you should play 4 Mayhem Devil and 2 Ob. Ob is not better than what just happened? Oh my gosh though. I can Riveteers Charm to get rid of a Drug Skull Captain. I have to pay 1 though to the Mariner. Every time I take a deck tech and I just look off the screen, something like this happens. Just look over, I'm getting totally owned. Dude, Riveteers Charm, it does help answer the tier 0 Spirits menace. Scarlet Rant? That's a great username. It's like, kind of feels like an Elden Ring playoff. Could I ask, do you think Paradox Chem Saram 0 mana equipment could be worth brewing in Pioneer? There's that one inspiring statuary card that's really good with outcome. Yeah, I feel like if you think you only want this many 3-drops, cut the Ob, but you can probably figure out a way to play 4 Mayhem Devil 3 Ob. Maybe not. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not actually sure. Hold on. Well, this seems pretty tight. I would never play less than 4 Mayhem Devil though. I'm gonna take 5. There's not a world where I play less than 4 Mayhem Devil. I mean, you can cut like 4th Deadly Dispute, maybe. Oh, I also really like, you know, obviously Shrapnel Blast, but maybe it does. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe it does make sense to cut the Shrapnel Blast for Ob. You could cut like the 4th Shambling Gas too. Okay. I guess I should have actually just let them block first, because I now just want them to block. Do you think 2 Ob instead of 4th Charm and Clean makes sense? I don't think that Ob is good in this deck, no. I think that the new Charm is a better 3-drop in this deck than the new Ob Decklist. I could be totally wrong about this card, guys. Like, I actually kind of like I really dislike when a new card comes out. I'm like very clearly like not as high on it as the community at large is. And I just have to like, I have to go over and over and over again, talk about why I just don't think it's as good as like the general community does, and then if I'm ever wrong, I just never ever hear the end of it. But like I do think the card is somewhat playable, but I think that it requires more build around than just throwing it in a random Jund list. You know what I mean? I think you have to do more work than that. I think that you have to be playing cards that you like to sacrifice for it to be that good, in modern specifically. Dude, they're playing Ragavan? Alright, but good list. I like it. I don't have too many more notes besides what I've given already. I think the same is true with Grist. A lot of people were iffy about the card. I mean, Grist is a bit different. Grist is really different from Ob, where Grist is like really good at catching you up from behind. Ob is going to be, I think, so much weaker when you're behind than Grist ever was, which is why I'm lower on Ob. Ob is really good when you're ahead. A lot of cards are really good when you're ahead, though. Ob is really good when you're ahead. And like, but you're gonna lose a lot of games because you're behind on board, and Ob is just like not doing enough for you. Drew a land for turn. It's huge. So I'm hitting my opponent for 6 down to 6. Get back my Seasoned Pyromancer tokens. I think I can also cycle Forgotten Cave. It's probably a bit better. Leave back Spirit. Oh, for Dash Ragavan. I mean, I think I just kind of like presenting lethal next turn. They're a Lightning Bolt deck, you know. Well, I guess I could present lethal if I get the tokens back, so. Yeah. Yeah, and I lost to it. Damn it. Sorry. I forgot that they had the Ragavans. I can't believe we lost that game. My fault, obviously. I blame the chatter for summoning. For summoning Ragavan to the top of their library. You had lethal with Wrenn and Six? Yeah. I just threw the game away. Cycled Instant Speed give me both options. Yeah, I mean, Cycled Sorcery Speed lets me cast a sorcery spell, but yeah. Is Cap live on Moto? They're live in Treasure Chest, not limited yet. It's my opinion Sedgemoor Witch is not like a playable modern card. I have cast it, I've tried it. I do see that your whole deck idea revolves around this card being good. I also don't think Sprout Storm is very good. It's very cool that you're playing it. I can't say that it's not. Rob the Archives is very cool with Seasoned Pyromancer or Young Pyromancer, Sedgemoor Witch. Manamorphose is very cool here. I like the Abundant Harvests. I'm really high on Riveteers Charm. Like, I think Sprout Storm's a little win more. Like, this card's good when you already have a lot of tokens and you have one of these creatures that isn't dying and is really mediocre otherwise. So I would probably recommend playing like at least the 3rd Charm. I'd probably play 4 Charms, 1 Rob the Archive, 0 Sprout Storm if I was going to build around this deck idea. But I will say, very cool deck idea. I think if you're going to do this, I think you've built the deck pretty well. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's unlikely that this is going to be a super competitive list, but I don't have too many notes. I might like to see maybe like the 1st or 2nd Unearth in the main deck. Sorry, I don't like the 2/2/2 Lightning Bolt, Bloodchief's Thirst, Fatal Push split. I feel like I'd be playing like 3 Bolt, 2 Push, no Thirst. I know Wrenn and Six is good against you, but Wrenn and Six is good against every deck. And Riveteers Charm also helps you like kill a Wrenn and Six too. I don't think Brutality is popular enough to want, or Burn is popular enough to want Brutality. If that changes, then obviously play the Brutalities. 3 Chalice, 2 Void Mirror is way too much for Cascade decks. You can play, it's way too much. Like in Chalice, I'm assuming is only against Cascade decks, so you play so many 1-drops. So yeah, you can play like 1 Chalice, 2 Void Mirror is usually what I like to do. This is way too much. My own Ragavan. I'm gonna play a Goyf here. Play Jessica List 1K. Any tips? I posted I have several deck guides on Channel Fireball for Jessica Lotus Field. You can find a link there. They named Pirate. Or find so you can find some tips in the one of the deck guides, or all the deck guides. Maybe it's not good to terminate that aggressively, but I think I like keeping the pressure going. Obviously, this Culling Ritual is kind of awkward, though. Did you also do a deck tech Lucid Beams and I missed it? Ooh. Okay, we'll take this trade. And then I think I just wait on the Culling Ritual. I don't think I'm supposed to just like 1-for-1 exile the Rip here. That was a really good turn for them. Obviously, Spell Queller is pretty awkward for me. I get 2-for-1 pretty hard. Not a Spell Queller though. Who's the Spirits player now, opponent? I think it's still them, actually. Vigilance Trample 3/3. Whenever Venerable War Singer deals combat damage to a player, you may return target creature with mana value extra lesser graveyard to the battlefield? What a nombo. First time building a deck, opponent? Just kidding. Not that serious. Okay, Droxel Captain pretty good. No cards left in their hand. I think I'm going to discard my second Ragavan here. Is Culling Ritual better than Hidetsugu? Yes, because it kills. The whole reason to play that card is to deal with Sanctifier and Vec, in my opinion. The whole reason to play this card is Sanctifier and Vec. It's a really popular sideboard card that's really good against you. The Supreme Phantom back. Alright, I'm gonna leave the Trime in the deck so I could cycle it if I draw it. Getting kind of flooded still. Save this 3 Volts of Fatal Push, I guess. I also have the Treasure. Take 3, another 13. Okay, I like that draw. Hopefully they don't top deck another Spell Queller, but I think I'm supposed to go for a double block. They drew a spell. They started to pay cost immediately, and then they went to attack. So their card's not a Lord. It's not a Spell Queller, I'm assuming. Unless they just have like the biggest like brain in the world and like, okay, oh, I drew a Spell Queller, but I'm gonna just click pre-combat to make them think I don't have it. And if that's what's going on, good for you. You're way better than anybody else if you do that. In Conference Generator, wouldn't March be better than Thirst because you can discard Archons? One of these two cards, so March doesn't discard, it exiles. And one of these two cards kills a Ragavan on turn 1. How do you build a sideboard? I wrote a article on Channel Fireball giving advice on how to build a sideboard. If you would like to read that. The time for Culling Ritual? I don't think it's quite time. Or on how I approach building sideboards, I should say. Opponent's at 7. They can't really attack with both. Yeah, you can get a CFP Pro subscription. Wrote a whole like 3,000 plus word article on that last year. And how I like it to approach building sideboards. Hey, what's up?
Hi. Would you like some breakfast?
I would love some, yeah.
Would you like eggs with green beans?
Sure, yeah.
It's good, I promise.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. That's my neighbor. Top deck Struggle Captain, not dead on board. But they have to trade with Tarmogoyf, Chump Block, Endurance. Flood is so real. Is it better to fetch with less lands in deck for losing life? No, I mean, my life total is super relevant in this matchup, right? I'm at 8 life. They have Lightning Bolt in their deck. They have Ragavan in their deck. My opponent says, GG, big fan. Oh, I thought that was game 2. Oh, that's right. I won game 1 super fast. That was the match they mulled to 4. What a match. CFB loading slowly for anyone else. I think that's because I shouted them out and simply too much traffic to the website after one aspiring spike shout out. I'll have to be more careful in the future. I'm getting basic swamp here. Excuse me. We lost to. So sorry. We lost to Phoenix Steamy Lich. It was my list. It's confirmed by opponent. Oh, another Teferi. I guess we take that. We can hopefully push the Dryad. Thank you, Jace. Yeah, they have two Bring to Lights in their hands, so I think like trying to keep the Thoughtseize is probably not the best plan. I'm just gonna discard Thoughtseize. Lightning Bolts keep push for their Dryad. Not the best top decks, though. Why do you care so much about Teferi? Teferi is a speed bump that buys them time and draws them cards to cast their Bring to Lights. I'm also, like, not pressuring it super well. I feel like we have to take the Bring to Lights. Maybe. They don't have the lands for them yet, though. Maybe they just draw the lands. Maybe we draw better cards off the Seasoned Pyromancer. How do you beat a Valky? Good question. I mean, I'm mostly just kind of hoping my opponent stumbles on lands, which is what is happening. I also can draw more proactive cards off the Seasoned Pyromancer and pressure my opponent before they find their lands. Not that that's going to happen necessarily. Okay. Go for the draw 3 end of turn, I think. Hopefully. I mean, I guess they have the Omnath, so if they go Omnath fetch land, I have to kill the Omnath. Right? But if I just hope they don't find fetch lands. Yeah. Red, black, green. Okay, not too bad. Fetch. Tap land, Tarmogoyf, Lightning Bolt, push. Draw 3, baby. Draw 3. So bring to light, bring to light. Mystery card. Not dying to scape shift. They can maybe bring to light for Verdict first. Obviously, they probably have a Valky too. When opponent's deck work pretty well on Pioneer. I mean, the idea, I'm gonna have to bring to light Valky. Yeah, that is a deck that's Niv Mizzet usually. Usually the deck also plays black for Niv. Alright, just bring like Escape Shift. They don't have enough lands. They're 1 land short. Okay, they still have another bring to light. But there was never anything I could have done about that this game. But now I do have enough pressure in play that a Valky is beatable. I think if they draw a land up, that's Escape Shift, right? Yeah. They usually only play 1 Verdict, too. With the new Charm, do you think 4-color red could be viable? Yes, that's something I'm going to work on. It's not like super high on my to-do list, but I'm going to try to spend mostly my time on Modern for the next like several streams. Yeah, I agree, Mark. I think that's the same. That's my same opinion on Ob. Is like you want to play more small creatures than just giant random creatures. Does Possibility Storm work on a Moto? I think it was bugged a little while ago. I can't remember. I don't know if they ever fixed it. When's the Esper Pile stream? Some point soon. They did find the land. Can you play Ob in this gen deck? I think that you shouldn't. I think that Ob is not a better 3-drop than Seasoned Pyromancer, Liliana, or Charm in this version. I think Ob requires more deck building restrictions than just like having Tarmogoyf in your deck, but I could also be wrong. Maybe Ob is broken, you know? We'll see. I never really know without actually getting to cast the cards, you know? Which is kind of why I hate this. Thank you, Destructor's Tron, for your daily tin pack. Apparently, I'm getting close to stop thanking you. It's too generous, but also thank you very much. Kind of mixed signals, I guess. But it's just like it's really hard for anybody, me included, to be able to give you like the answers on exactly how good a card is without playing it. Yeah, I can give you my impressions, my evaluations, but nobody can perfectly evaluate a card without playing them. What? They sacked their Valakut and left 2 mountains in play. They're getting 5 lands. I'm not dead. I'm straight up not dead here. Some Grixis control now with HTA. I think HTA is a really I'm pretty low on that card at the moment. It's okay, but you have to, it's only good in like really specific metagames. Yeah, I'm straight up not dead here. They sacrifice 5 lands. If they get Valakut 4 mountains, they could deal me Valakut 3 mountains, I take 9. Right? Or take 12. Take 12. Down to 2. Not dead, baby. Misclick. I think that they maybe don't have enough mountains left in the deck. That probably is not true. Yeah, it's the sponsor of the stream, Destructotron. 205 gifted subs lifetime. What about Ob and a Vengevine list? I mean, Vengevine has really harsh deck building restrictions. That if you get your Vengevine back, ideally that's like your big payoff, you know? I don't think I've ever seen a Vengevine list that's like, I got my Vengevines back, now I can play my 3-mana Planeswalker. You know what I mean? Okay, then I can Cling to Dust to gain life if they draw a mountain. Ted, 60 months, thank you. Deck for Nooch. So dead to a fetch land. But they got a Boreal Grazer, and I have Seasoned Pyromancer to win the game. My opponent played perfectly, by the way. They probably didn't mess it up. Oh, they did say misclicked. Whoops. I didn't miss that they even said that. Okay. We're playing against Bring to Light. I'll get to the deck in a second. I think I want the Void Mirrors. Maybe just one. Turok is pretty good against him too. I don't think we can afford to play Magus. We're like Magus is mostly just for Titan and Tron. It's like it's kind of tough in this matchup where they have answers to it, and it is really going to hurt our mana. Let me, I think, cut the Lightning Bolts for the Turoks and the Void Mirror. Sugar Daddy, thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate you. And Amarkara for the Twitch Prime. Thank you as well. So Abzan Reanimator. Looks like, you know, play on the Mardu versions that have been coming around. Yeah, I played against a deck like this in a PTQ. It kind of inspired me to build the Esper version that I won that challenge with. I think you have to play 4 Grief, 4 Solitude, and it's actually pretty easy, I think, to just cut the 4 copies of Siege Rhino to make room for those cards. Siege Rhino is not a playable modern card. It's not playable even in the shell. I know that, and also the argument that, but it pitches to both Grief and Solitude doesn't hold that much water with me when you're only playing 2 of each. Do not Veil of Summer me. Do not Veil of Summer me. Yeah, like, the fact that it pitches doesn't hold much art water for me. I think you really need these 0 mana spells in this version. I really want to see 4 copies of Prismatic Ending in the 75. You can just play 2 main, but having the full 4 in the 75 as like a really versatile, good card that's also good against Graveyard Hate is just that important. Okay, I have to take the Wrenn. Pull for Eternity. It should never be in your sideboard. You're into way too deep. Come back. You're in way too deep. I see that you have Fairy Macabre in the sideboard, and what I think happened is that this deck used to have Eladamri's Call in it, and you have like your 1 Siege Eternal Witness, you had Eladamri's Call, and that's why you're playing less Siege Rhinos and Solitudes, and then you cut the Eladamri's Calls for Satyr Wayfinders, and then you still have like this sideboard plan. Okay, so their hand is Omnath, Bring to Light Mystery card. So I think I'm just going to Charm, kill the Dryad. Main phase? I could also Charm, kill Omnath in response to the trigger, so they can go Omnath, Bring to Light. And then I can go... Thank you, Stuart. Fatal Push, Seasoned Pyromancer next turn. And maybe Eldorman's Call is better than Satyr Wayfinder here, or Stitcher Supplier. But if you're not playing Eldorman's Call, I can't imagine wanting a Fairy Macabre. I can't imagine wanting to... Training Grounds to 8 months, appreciate ya. So they just go land immediately. Pretty bad for me. Bolts me. I think I'm gonna try to get them to Scape Shift. Yeah, they're gonna go Omnath, fetch, and I think Bring to Light for Scape Shift and try to kill me. No attacks? Oh, they don't get to trigger the Omnath. Right. Well, that didn't work. I mean, obviously, just some loose thoughts. I'd cut the pull. I'd cut the Fairy Macabre. Your sideboard needs to be just a bit more dedicated to beating Graveyard Hate. Prismatic Ending is better against Graveyard Hate than Foundation Breaker. Yeah, I mean, I think the Eldorman's Calls are fine. Just get those back in the deck. I could kind of tell that you cut the... but play just 1 Foundation Breaker, 2 more Prismatic Endings in the side. You'll be good to go. So they gain 4, deal me 3. I'm down to 8. I need to draw a Thoughtseize, or I'm toast. Okay, just dead to the Bring to Light, right? Yeah. Even if I kill this. Oh no, they did need to draw 1 more land. They did need to have the land in hand, but it's kind of tough for them to not have a land or cards that are killing me, I guess. John mid-range with no charm, I presume? Why did you presume no charm? What's wrong with making them have it? Nothing's wrong with making them have it. I thought that I was dead for 100%. I conceded, then I realized I wasn't. I think no real pressure. Should probably mulligan. This hand's gonna be okay. I think I can probably afford to keep the Boseiju. Let's put back the basic swamp. Can you kill Dryad with the skip ship sub off Valka triggers and then have 6 mountains? You can, yeah. You can, but I thought that they had enough mountains to not have to play into that. But I miscounted. You meant new charm? We have the new charm. We have 4 of the new charm. Oh, sorry, with new charm, not no charm. I see. Yeah. You're cleared. No Wrenn and Six opponent, by the way. I banned that card. Banned Wrenn and Six. Well, that didn't work. Liliana, always bad against Wrenn and Six. Let's get a basic swamp here. I guess we could get basic mountain this turn, basic swamp next turn. Kick the Turok. Skip the Kroxa the following turn. Yeah, the eggs are really good. What's lunch? It's breakfast still, I guess, but just green beans and eggs. Very, very tasty and healthier than what I normally have for breakfast. Takes out Omnath iteration, so just losing the Omnath. Returns the breeding pool they discarded last turn. We're going to grab our swamp now. Kick the Turok. And plus the Liliana. Put my opponent, or put the Turok to 5. Put my opponent down to 3 cards in hand. Discard 2 spells. Hopefully Turok lives. Protection from white is pretty good in this matchup. This matchup seems rough. I agree, yeah. I agree. These Omnath decks are usually very good against Jund. No, I don't think I'd play Ob in this version, but I will be playing Ob in slightly different versions. I'm going to be trying out tomorrow, hopefully. Should I have Lily ticked up before Turok? No, I should do it after, because this becomes a 5-4 if I do it after. That seems more relevant. I feel like you've said this deck is good against Jund a lot. You're mistaken. Jund actually has no bad matchups. Every time I say this deck is good against Jund, it's actually sarcasm. Sarcasm. Not that I'd expect you to understand, chat. Not that I'd expect a chat like you to understand. How does Jund beat 4-color Yorion? You bribe them to concede. They ping the Liliana. Wow. I thought if they were going to ping something, they'd ping the Turok and then bolt it. Okay, I'm just going to attack the Wrenn and Six and see what happens. No need to grow it pre-combat or anything. Okay, then I'm going to escape the Kroxa, see if they have a way to interact with that. I think I need to escape the Kroxa. I need to pressure their hand. I need to pressure them. But I may not plus Liliana so that if they do like go Bring to Light for Supreme Verdict next turn, we have the Seasoned Pyromancer still in hand. I should plus. I should plus. Because that way if they go Bring to Light for Supreme Verdict, I'm really close to ultimating Liliana. And then like if that maybe makes them keep only like a land, Bring to Light in their hand or something. Discard Valky. I don't know why that was such a hard decision. Yeah, I really like this mountain. I opened it in paper and it feels like really not glossy, but it feels the texture on this mountain specifically does like the print quality is different. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it is different. Okay. Okay, 2 cards in their hands. Omnath, no fetch lands, obviously huge for us. Start off by cycling this Barren Moor. If I plus my Liliana, my opponent has to chump block, right? Because this becomes a 9 power creature. 9 plus 6, yeah. So let's go Seasoned Pyromancer first. They're dead. They're not dead. If they have a spell in their hand, they're not dead on board. Edict Swing. Kroxa only deals 3 damage if they don't discard a spell. It's only lethal if my opponent's hand is land. But this just gets them to no permanence in play. And gets them hellbent. So if I go Liliana Edict, they get to keep one of their 2 cards in their hand. So if it's like a Supreme Verdict or something, that's pretty bad for me. Or Bring to Light for Verdict. 10 plus 9 is 21. It's 9 plus 6. It's not 10 plus 9, right? What am I missing? They did draw Bring to Light for Verdict. But I think I get to just ultimate Liliana then escape Kroxa again. Let's put Triumphs versus these 3 lands. But Ragavan's lethal for Verdict then? I guess so. I mean, we're going to win this game. I don't know, chat. I think both lines are probably fine. But, like, they're like, way less likely to have Verdict if we take this line and get them hellbent for sure. We won versus Escape Shift. A good matchup after all, huh? Okay, lost round 1 to Phoenix. Won the next 3. Could get a prediction going. Like, my opponent's playing Giganta the Wellspring. I think the most common Giganta deck is like actually like Shadow decks at the moment. This hand is not great on the draw against Shadow necessarily. Might keep this. What did grass feel like? It was like kind of like sand, like bags of sand. What kind of sports have been active in? I used to play like a lot of basketball and racquetball. I used to play like at my high school basketball, but I've had the most fun I ever had playing basketball is playing pickup basketball, just at either at the Y or at like your park or something. Like the summer after my senior year of high school, I just had the best days that entire summer. I was just like, I'd wake up, I'd have breakfast, I would go play basketball for 3 hours every single day with my friends, and then I would go like do whatever I wanted in the evening, you know, usually hanging out with somebody else, but it was just, I played basketball every single day that summer and I loved it. And I went from like being pretty rusty at the beginning to being like one of the best people at the Y. And it was like, I was so proud of myself. And then I learned how to play Magic like 3 months after that. Then I learned how to play Magic like 3 months after that. And I haven't really played much basketball since, but I did get really into racquetball like a little bit before me and Esther started dating. Me and my friends would play it. Like, so like I don't like treadmills, cardio, running on tracks. I really just like I can feel my brain melting when I'm doing cardio. I find it just to be really unengaging. I just don't enjoy doing it very much. But I do like you know, playing some sports, right? So usually I'll try to like, you know, play a sport instead of just doing regular cardio. Aquaman with the 20 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, DDR, like Beat Saber, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but yeah, me and my friends, we had a group chat for working out and playing racquetball. And it was just awesome. Very good time, being young, being single, not having a lot of responsibilities. Just working out, playing racquetball. It's a good time. So if I Boseiju this Urza Saga, it's like, it's not that good for me. Since my opponent just has all these Nettle Cysts in their hand. They have 2 Nettle Cysts, so it's just like they get to make more tokens anyways if I do Boseiju them. So I think I'm gonna Seasoned Pyromancer. I'm gonna discard Triome Mire, I think. I guess the Triome was bad after all, huh? Racquetball's used to before. Why didn't opponent did anything last turn? They're waiting to use their mana for Saga. Someone in chat this morning said, I need to update the record. Someone in chat this morning was like, Spike, I can't remember what they said, but do you think you should do this deck building decision because Affinity is picking up in popularity? And me, who has just been playing Pioneer for like a year now, I'm like, wait, what? Affinity's picking up in popularity? That's probably not true. It's our second time playing against it today. I'm super dead. David, thank you for the 2-pack. If you want to post a link in chat, I'll take a look at your deck tech. Alright, obviously going to be really tricky to figure out how to get out of this situation. I think whatever happens, it starts off with Seasoned Pyromancer. Matt Cullings with the gifted sub. Buried by Postboard's 10-pack. Well, I'm getting very rich off of Postboard and Destructo's very, very polite fight. Thank you, guys. The most polite of fights. I might bring in Chalice on the play. So awkward the Culling Rituals, though. Yeah, I might have to buy a second house, huh? Might have to buy a second house. Playing against Affinity. Pyro Aggro. Is this your second deck tech of the day, David? It is, right? That's right. Okay. Okay, so you've transitioned the Jund deck into just red-green. I really think Sprout Swarm is not it. I would not register this card ever. I would also like maybe be somewhat inclined to play third young Pyromancer. I guess only 15 instant sorceries is actually even kind of low. Now that I'm looking at it. I kind of want to discard the Kroxa to the Seasoned Pyromancer. Let me actually just put back Tarmogoyf. I know it's kind of weird, but I've got this Culling Ritual in my hand that I want to lead on this match. So we'll just, like, you know, not blow up our own Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I know that these are cool. I feel like you probably just want to cut the Spyros, the Furies, and play more spells. I don't think I like Rob the Archives in general. I know it's also only better with the Young Pyromancers, but you only have 2. So I'll get these out of there as well. Okay, I'm not going to push this super aggressively. I'm really going to try to Culling Ritual for the win this game. Oh my gosh. Destructotron with a 25 pack of subs. Thank you, Destructotron, for the 25 pack of subs. Please, both you and Postboard should, instead of gifting subs to me, who has plenty of subs now, should just go buy yourself something nice, you know, do something nice for your family. And thank you to Postboard Gaming for the 50 pack of subs. Thank you for the 50 pack of subs. Appreciate ya. This stream is brought to you by Postboard and Destructotron. Yeah, maybe buy subs for your families, you know? Buy yourself a kebab or something nice. Okura, thank you for the gifted sub as well. Just gonna get back to this deck tech. If Destructotron or Postboard like a deck tech, let me know. Well, very timely land drop here. Spyro discard these two. Culling Ritual for next turn. Yeah, if you got a gifted sub, make sure to thank Destructo or Postboard or some of the other gifter subs, whoever you got it from. Yeah, I think without these synergies, you just shouldn't be on these two cards. You should probably be playing cards like Firebolt, just more burn spells to close out the game. Maybe Lava Darts. Sideboard looks great. I would maybe play third Void Mirror over second Chalice. It's kind of close, but sideboard does look great. Too bad Culling Ritual can't make red mana. We'll probably live. We'll probably live, huh? Okay, two pretty lopsided games. I'm gonna submit for game 3 and get going. Thank you again so much, Postboard and Destructo. I do really appreciate you guys, but I'm good. You guys don't have to polite fight. I'm doing really good. You guys could maybe donate to a charity and like compare receipts or something. Dino finally got Rykard hitless. Awesome. But definitely a big thank you. I haven't played Seasoned Pioneer. I watched Doomwake and Tutors play it though. I did thank Okura for the gifted sub, right? I think I did. Thank you, Okura. And thank you, Uruk, with the 5-on-3 sub. Thank you. Is not the problem? Yeah. Is Riveteers Charm really that good here? I've really liked the card. I don't know. I think the card's been pretty impressive. This is my #1 pick from the new set. It's not like, you know, 3 mana win the game, but it's very versatile and very powerful. A good combination for a mid-range deck. Eureka. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, we're on the draw. Game 3 against Affinity. I have to mulligan this hand. My opponent's also taking a mulligan. Yikes. I think we're going to 5. If this hand does top deck a red land immediately, it's okay, but... Is the charm better Kolaghan's Command? I think so, yes. I think so. I would say that no one in Twitch chat probably thinks so, though, as Twitch chat is just always so helplessly, hopelessly, pathetically addicted to Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, it maybe doesn't always end up as a 4-of, but I do usually like to start my playtesting like this. I'm gonna lead on Thoughtseize. I usually like to start my playtesting with cards like this as a 4-of. And just seeing how it feels going from there. Let me take the Nettle Cyst so that I can maybe keep them off Affinity. Young Dingo, thank you for the raid. Appreciate ya. Oh, did you a 0 drop? Brutal. I guess, you know, not the end of the world. Rough that we're on the Mold of 5. Thoughts on New Death Shadow? That card's fine in exactly the Calibrated Blast Wombo combo deck, but not really gonna shine outside of that very obscure deck, I think. Thank you, Dingo. I think today's only Jund day just because of how hard it is to get the cards. We'll see if I end up getting my hands on anything else, but I've got other things prepped. We'll probably just try to do Obnix list day tomorrow or something. Is Ragavan good in the matchup? I think so. Ragavan, like, just trading early is usually fine. Nettlecyst is also pretty good in the matchup. So I'm going to terminate the Germ token. Lightning Bolt the Midnight, that's untapped. Attack with my Ragavan. And hope to draw really well. Exile Urza Saga. Probably wasn't beating that card. Ugh, rough. Plays the Otawara as a land. Kind of surprised about that. Yeah, tough mull to 5 in the league. Affinity weirdly weirdly popular today. They're gonna move the Frogmite post combat. I need to draw like Boseiju. Then attack Boseiju the Nettlecyst, and then top deck really well after that. Yeah. Okay, tough stuff. Yeah, the old Jund 5-0. The 3-2. I'm gonna run it back for at least one more league here. I need to get some water too.